Hey, Devin here with Patient Care Marketing Pros, and I'm talking about landing pages for your Google Ads. So what is a landing page? Why not just send traffic to your website? I'm going to talk about a few of those things, as well as what an ideal landing page looks like and what information should be on a landing page. So a landing page, if you're not familiar, is basically a one-page website designed to convert people from clicking on your Google Ads to becoming a conversion, whether that be to call you, or to get directions to your clinic, or whatever conversions you have set up. A landing page is a one-page website designed specifically around ad copy and headlines that have to do with what people are searching for when your Google ad pops up. So the reason that a landing page is better, in our opinion, to sending traffic to your website is that this page is solely designed with the ad group, all of the ad copy, all of the headlines from your Google Ads, designed specifically for a certain topic or something that they're searching for. So you can have a urgent care landing page that covers a lot of information, but then if you really want to get specific and get better conversions and get patients into your clinic, best way to do that is with landing pages. So an ideal landing page is going to be specific to what they are looking for. It's going to have the sort of language in the search terms that they're looking for. And this doesn't happen overnight. This happens over trial and error and collecting data from your Google Ads account to determine what landing pages you should actually pursue. So I'm going to give an example today of one of our landing pages for one of our urgent cares. I am using our friends over at Lone Star Urgent Care, so shout out to you guys doing that because Nick did it in a different video, so I figured we'll just continue on to that trend. All right, so we are looking at one of our landing pages, and this is a landing page that is specific to sports physicals. So within our Google Ads campaign, we have an ad group that is specific to search terms and keywords revolving around sports physicals. So this is a service that this urgent care provides. And when people search for sports physicals, we want them to see a page designed around what they're looking for, and that is sports physicals. So is this an ideal landing page? I believe so. We are biased because we built these landing pages, but we tend to build more landing pages and split tests and things like that. But we'll keep it simple today, and we're just focused on what makes a landing page ideal. What makes a landing page ideal for your clinic is going to be different than what makes a landing page ideal for somebody else's clinic. There are a lot of similarities, a lot of overlaps, but ultimately it's going to be defined by you, your brand, and what it is that you want to say and what people are looking for in your community. But here's a great example of a landing page designed for something very specific like sports physicals. So I'm going to start with the with basic things of having very clear call to actions. So call to actions is a fancy way of saying, what do your buttons say? What do you want people to do when they arrive at this landing page? They've clicked your ad, they are now on this landing page. What action do you want them to take? And so an ideal landing page, make sure to have your call to actions very visible. It's very, your eye is drawn to it. In a lot of cases, we do like to use red, but that can change depending on, brand colors and things like that. But we want it to be very eye-catching, and we want it to be very simple. So if I click this button, I know that that's my ability to check in online. So if I want to make an appointment or kind of save my spot in line at this urgent care, that's my very first call to action, check in online. And next to that is a phone number. Now, this is going to look a little bit different on mobile, and I'll show you what that looks like as we get to that point. But the very first thing you want is very clear and very easy to find call to actions. Always good to have your branding on these landing pages so that people know that they're in the right place. If they clicked on an ad for a different urgent care and this pops up and they see this logo up at the top, they're going to know they're in the wrong spot, but now they have that clarity to decide if they want to pursue this urgent care or not. So you want some branding to let them know that they're in the right place. Very clear call to actions. We like to put 2 of these call to actions up at the very top so that you can easily just click those if you need to. Now, as we get to sort of the first scroll, we want to hit them with a headline that lets them know, again, they're in the very same spot that they were supposed to be. They were looking for something about sports physicals, and so we're going to hit them with a headline that talks about exactly that, sports physicals, and we're going to include some sort of location factor into that. So when you think of on Google Ads, you have something called a keyword score that basically is just making sure that Google is providing the right landing pages and the right ads to the people that are doing these keywords or these search terms. And so part of this is also raising that keyword score to make sure that Google is happy with our landing page, that it is the relevant information that people need when they're looking for sports physicals, in this case, Corpus Christi, Texas. Now, with this urgent care, we do have a $25 offer for sports physicals, which is fairly low compared to what typical sports physicals will cost. And so we want to include that offer in our headline as well. And then it's not 100% that you have to do this every time, but it's always kind of fun to throw in a little something as well that just says, hey, in this case, get ready to play. We know we're talking sports. We know we're talking sports physicals. So there we go. So very basic, but very direct headline to also let people know that this is the information that you want to see, but it also makes Google happy, rewards you with the high quality score by including things like the keywords that you're targeting, like sports physicals. So that is your headline. Short description, again, letting them include your company name or your clinic name somewhere in there. And we like to use, we do split testing on this, but we find that including a nice professional photo of the outside of your building really does help. It's the first image that people are going to see when they click this ad. We believe it just makes them feel more comfortable when they go to the clinic. They've already seen the outside. They just have that comfort level when they get into the parking lot of an image they've already seen. They tend to perform really well when we include a nice professional image of the location. But so they're going to see this image, they're going to see this headline, a short description. Make sure that this description at the top of your page, if this is the only thing they read, make sure that that's enough to where they can make a decision on if they want to call or take some other call to action based on just this description alone. So keep it short, keep it simple, but make sure it's descriptive enough to where people know that this is enough information to make a decision. Now, again, we're not going to let them scroll without having another call to action. So that's the idea of an ideal landing page that's designed to convert, is to continuously give them options of something to do. Don't let them wander around. Direct their traffic and what they're doing on the page. And so here we hit them with another call to action to call right there. So if we scroll down some more, they're not sold yet. They need some more information. So we're going to do a couple of things here. We are going to include some more keywords. Again, we want to keep Google happy and give us a nice keyword score so that our cost per click stay down and we can get really good cost per conversions. But so we're gonna do a little bit of that. We're gonna rehash sports physicals. We're gonna talk about the company a little bit, and we're gonna use some we language at this point. So we told them what it is that you offer. Now they're not sold yet. They haven't converted yet. So let's give them a little bit more information about your company. It doesn't have to be long. Again, very short and to the point. People don't read, they scan. So we want to just kind of give them a little bit more information about who we are and that we are good at this. We like to put in walk-ins are always welcome, just as a reminder that you can just walk in. You don't have to make an appointment. You don't have to call. You can literally just come to our clinic. And so because walk-ins are always welcome, we now give them the option to get directions directly to their location. So if you click this button, it now pulls up Google Maps with your location already set up, and it will give you directions to their location. So again, just kind of playing on who we are as a company and that walk-ins are always welcome. Here's a third call to action, another option for a potential patient. So they're not sold yet. What more information do they want? Let's answer a couple of questions. What is a sports physical? So when you're building a landing page, there are tools out there, AI tools. ChatGPT is a great option that I use all the time to ask questions about, hey, what do people want to know about sports physicals? If somebody's going to an urgent care, what questions can we answer? Do some Google scans, do some searches on Google for sports physicals frequently asked questions, and just kind of see what's out there. Google will show you what people are searching for. Part of this also comes from using your Google Ads data to tell you exactly what people are searching for. And when you start to notice that there's a pattern of people asking questions, you can then answer the question while sort of targeting those search terms. So now we're just going to give them a little bit more information about what a sports physical is. So if you've never done a sports physical, or you don't have a child who plays sports and they've never needed a sports physical to participate, you may not have a clue what a sports physical actually is. And so this is just an opportunity to give a little bit more information about what it is a sports physical is. Again, you're just building up some trust, some expertise, and some comfort level with your potential patient, so that they have as much information as they want without overloading them with too much. So again, keep your description short. Remember that people tend to scan rather than read every bit of it. But if they have some questions, we want to answer them. And you would guess it right, another call to action for each scroll. Now we're giving them the ability to check in online again. Now, if we go down, we have a few drop-down FAQs regarding sports physicals. So what we do is we work with our clients to actually get real-world answers to these questions that people ask. And then we sort of optimize that content just to make Google happy. This is very SEO-friendly type landing pages that just makes Google Ads happy to put out your ad, because the landing page has all this relevant information. So these are all just drop downs with some basic questions. So again, I just want with 5 different questions on here, that's where I'm going to limit. I'm not going to put 10 questions. I'm not going to put 15. I'm going to keep this 3 to 5. I want the most common questions that are asked regarding one of these services. And so this is a top 5 common asked questions about sports physicals in regards to an urgent care. And so, can I get a same day appointment, XYZ, so on and so forth. But I want them to be able to scan this in case their question in their head sort of lines up with one of these, and then they can just jump to that specific question and get some more information from the dropdown. So again, the real estate on the landing page needs to be precise, and we don't want to overload them. So this gives them the ability to scan it, but also get some more information on a specific question they may have. And so at this point, this allows you the ability to put in some more of those keywords that you're targeting to increase your keyword score on Google Ads. So we have a lot of things in here about location. We have urgent care name, and we have sports physicals. So if you read this and you know what you're looking at, you probably can see that this content is answering the question, but it's also been optimized to appease Google so that we get a high keyword and landing page experience score, so that people or Google will push out our ad to more people. So they're still not convinced. You've answered all these questions, but now they're really hunkered down. They want to know even more. And so we're going to hit them with a little bit more information about why you would choose us over somebody else for a sports physical. And so this headline is very intentional about without the wait. So you can get a sports physical at an urgent care without the wait that you would experience somewhere else. And so this is where we're just highlighting a common problem area of why, people tend to wait till the last minute to get their sports physicals. So, hey, that's okay. You can come here to our urgent care. We can perform that sports physical for you. And you're not going to have to wait in line. You're not going to have to set an appointment for weeks down the road. We can work very quickly and get you what you need so that you or your child can participate in sports. And again, another call to action, one with every scroll. So next up is adding a little bit of information about testimonials or reviews. So what we do is we just take 3 reviews from the actual Google Business Profile, and sometimes these reviews can be segmented out by topic. And so I actually went and looked for reviews that had something to do with sports physicals at their location. And so you'll see that these are not just random reviews, but these are reviews specific to this landing page. So every landing page that we do is going to have a different set of reviews because it's on point with what we're actually looking for. So everything here is talking about sports physicals or experiences that people had. I will say never use first and last name. Now, whatever is on Google Business Profile, when someone leaves a Google review, that information is officially public. So you don't have to worry too much about HIPAA regulations with that because they provided the review, and whatever name they put in with their account, that is public information. But the right thing to do is not to put first and last name. It's a little, it's a little weird when you're thinking about these are people who, had a sickness and went to this urgent care. So we want to be respectful of that. So what I typically do, because I also want people to know that these are real reviews by real people. So I don't want to just completely take a name off. I want to give it some personality, but I'm also going to remove the last name, just replace it with a letter, so that people know that these are real patients with real reviews. But these are just copy and pasted right off of their business profile. But it does change per landing page depending on what landing page we're talking about. Lastly, they get to the bottom. We want to give them a recap of all of the information on how to contact and where we're located. So we're going to hit them again with the name. We're going to give them the address. We're going to give them the hours of operation. We're going to give them another phone number that's clickable. Always make sure your phone numbers are clickable if they're not in button style. And then, as well as the call to action that we have above for getting directions, we also embed a Google map. And this is clickable to also bring up directions. So we just put a little descriptor there saying click map for directions in case people don't know to click it or tap it on their phone. And then we're going to rebrand it at the bottom, make sure we have it copyrighted. And that's about all you need. So this is a very intentional landing page for our sports physical ad group. So these are going to look different, but what an ideal landing page is it is designed with these sort of things in mind to make sure that when somebody is looking for a specific service or they are searching a certain way, that we are talking in their language and we're giving them clear call to actions. We're branding properly. We're making the images look good. But we're designing this with the mindset that people are going to scan this content. We want to give it to them in the smallest form possible. I don't care, honestly, if they read this stuff or not. What I care about is getting them to take a call to action to do one of the things that we're trying to get them to do. And so you can think about, if this is on your website, is your website designed the same way? Do you have a page for every single service that's designed to convert like this? You may have that, and that's okay. But landing pages are just our preferred way of turning potential patients into actual conversions and ultimately getting them into the clinics. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what building a landing page looks like. So if you never built a landing page before, you're going to want to do some Googling. You're going to want to find a landing page builder of some sort. So here is High Level's Site Builder. This is where we actually build our landing pages. So whatever site builder that you're going to use for building your landing pages, it's going to look different. This is just the one that we prefer here at our company. So it's going to look a little something like this. This is the same exact landing page we were looking at before, that you're just going to have the ability to set up different sections and different options for creating these landing pages. But these are really easy to work in. It doesn't take a lot of expertise to be able to navigate something like this. The best advice I can give is, if you've never done one of these before, just get started. Just try some things, but also double checking before you launch any landing pages that everything is working the way it's supposed to. Believe it or not, that is something you definitely have to pay attention to. So if I have a check-in online button, I need to make sure that these settings on the right-hand side are all set correctly. So if this is a check-in online, you may have a different verbiage for your call to action for booking it online. A lot of people use Save Your Spot. Some people use Book Online, Schedule Now. This client just prefers check-in online. And we have to make sure that the website URL is actually going to their booking page. And so these are the things that you always want to double check before you launch a landing page. Make sure that the phone number that's displayed here is actually going to link to call to that phone number. Make sure that, like at this phone number down at the bottom, make sure it's clickable. So in this case, to do that, I could just in this site builder, I do that, and I just have to add a link, and I add tel : phone number. And so these are the little things that if you forget to do this, or you don't double check them, and you launch a landing page without checking all these things, you're going to end up sending people to the wrong place. It's not going to work. And you're going to say, where are all my conversions? And you didn't set it up right. That's where the conversions went, as they were unable to actually take the actions that you wanted them to. But it's pretty simple. This is what we use. There's a ton of site builders out there. Everybody has a different opinion on what they like. This is just what we utilize because High Level also incorporates our lead funnel system. And so it's just easier to live in one system like that. Now, the other thing that you always need to do with landing pages is check mobile. So most of the time, not every time, not every industry, not every market, but most of the time, you're going to have more traffic from Google Ads on a mobile device than you're going to have on a desktop. So it's just as important to make sure that your mobile version of your landing page makes sense, it flows correctly. It's not always going to be maybe as pretty as the desktop version, but you need to make sure that your mobile version makes the most sense as possible, and it's easy to navigate. And just think of it as you're scrolling. Always have a call to action on your scroll. But this gives you an idea of how different this is going to look on mobile compared to desktop. And it should really be designed with mobile first mindset. So if we go back to what makes an ideal landing page, let's go through those again very quickly. We have our logo, very top centered. There's our branding. Hey, you were looking for an urgent care that provides sports physicals. We told you who we were, but now you're going to see it. So we're going to make sure to brand that. We have our top call to actions right up there before you even scroll, before you even see any images. If you clicked on the ad because you're ready to come to that urgent care for a sports physical, you can get that right there at the top without even having to look at the rest of the information. So there's our call to actions. There's our image of the location. There's our headline, our short description. There's our call to action. So once again, we have a call to action. This preview will look a little bit different on a phone, but essentially we have a call to action on the first scroll. Now, same thing as before, the way this is designed. Now that you have seen that, you need a little bit more information. Here's who we are. Here's walk-ins are always welcome. Here's your ability to get directions right now. Making sure that your imagery, I didn't even touch this on the desktop version. Make sure that your imagery matches what you're talking about. So who gets sports physicals? The majority is children trying to participate in sports at school. And so you want to make sure that your imagery matches the language. So here's an image of sports and kids. We're talking about what is a sports physical. Here's some information. And so if you'll notice, especially here, things like font size on mobile, in this case, is different than the font size on the desktop version, because I don't want anybody to have to scroll to read a single paragraph or one description, because they're not going to read it. They're going to scan it. And if you can't get them through a scroll without having it completely, if it's loaded up completely with text, it's going to be very off-putting. So this is an example where the mobile version, actually the font size is even different than the desktop. And so you really have to make sure that both versions are working correctly. There's our FAQ again. And here is another description about why you would choose an urgent care for your sports physical. There's another call to action, another picture, and then what our patients say. We've got that right there. And then all of that information for them down at the bottom of the page, so that we're kind of telling them you're at the bottom of this, time to make a decision, right? But anyways, that is how you design a landing page. That is what key items should be on your landing page. That is why you should use a landing page most of the time more than you should just direct traffic to a website. So those are landing pages. That's how to build them using site builders, what to check for to make an ideal landing page. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you or whoever is managing your Google Ads accounts to figure out what is deserving of a landing page, what's combined to different ad groups, or how you're going to design that. So what's ideal for one is not necessarily ideal for all. But these are some very general basics that if you have these on your landing page and you can get that landing page out there, it's probably going to perform fine. And then you just learn as you go about what people are searching for to find you, and then just keep segmenting that out and keep creating more landing pages designed to convert on those topics or those specific services. And that is how you do landing pages. So anyways, Devin here with Patient Care Marketing Pros. Thanks for watching, and y'all take care.